it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here to give y'all the weekend preview. Like I said, I would Tuesday. I am here, man. So we're gonna get into the weekend preview. We're gonna get into some Wednesday recaps first. However, but before all that, I would like to ask y'all to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content on this show, on this channel. You know, this network includes other shows like the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, which I'm going in their spot today. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy, which we have the World Series coming up real soon. We have Dave's Doghouse. Dave went live yesterday, put a couple dogs in the doghouse and made some dogs. He even took one of my guys off my major performances, so shout out Dave. We got Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, who went live this morning. I was able to catch him live. He gave some fantasy news and updates. He answered questions in the comments. If you got any fantasy football questions, that's the show for you. And we got the Joe Jordan show, who went his show aired earlier, about 2.5 hours ago. He talked about the Kings. Great win for the Kings last night, how they destroyed the Jazz last night. So, yeah, man, if you like any of the content on those shows, and I'm sorry if I missed the show. I don't think I did, but if I did miss the show, I apologize. But, yeah, if you like any of the content on those shows and on this channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and go down the rabbit hole. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, before I do that again, I also would like to apologize. I could have swore I thought I seen Malik Jackson with a boot. I said he had a boot on Tuesday. He did not. He was actually out with a concussion. I don't know what I thought I saw, but my apologies there. So let's get into these Wednesday recaps. Oh, I'm hold on. Wrong thing. Got my banners right here. Wednesday recaps. And again, like I said, I was messing with the stuff here. I was messing with it. Boom. I got the final score loading like a ticker, like it's ESPN, like it's Fox Sports. You know what I'm saying? We just the YouTube version. So final score of that game, as you can see at the bottom of the ticker, Jack State 42, FIU 16. Told y'all I'm rolling with Jack State, man, now 7-2. And Jack State did not disappoint. Jack State just dominated this game from start to finish. Started the game. We'll get into it. So Jack State, FIU starts the game with the ball and they punt. Jack State then gets the ball and scores a 13-yard Zion Webb touchdown run. Anwar Lewis 21-yard run set that up. Then Jack State gets the ball again and they score a 22-yard touchdown run by Ron Wiggins, set up by defensive pass interference. And then Jack State will score for his third straight touchdown, looking like the Ravens. Scores a 9-yard touchdown pass to Sean Brown. On a little, it was kind of like a little spider to banana a little bit, but 9-yard touchdown pass. Then with 7:13 left in the second quarter, FIU scores a 50-yard field goal, set up by Shamari Lawrence, 17-yard touchdown, 17-yard run. And then with 5 seconds left in the first half, Jack State scores a 28-yard field goal, set up by a 30-yard catch by Quentin Lane. And then Jack State will start the second half with the ball, leads to a punt. FIU will start the second half with a Chris Mitchell catch and fumble, which leads to a Jack State 38-yard field goal. FIU answers with a 1-yard Grayson James touchdown run. Now, Chris Mitchell, 60-yard catch, set that up, but the 2-point will be no good. Now, I did miss, because I was on members only, I did miss whether if Keon Jenkins got hurt. So let me look that up real quick. If it was a Keon Jenkins injury or if they just pulled him. So I'm going to look that up for y'all real quick. I did miss that part filming other content. And I forgot to look that up. I think Yeah, so Jenkins just got benched. He didn't get hurt. He just got benched, and they went back to Grayson James. So Grayson James then took over, and he had a 1-yard touchdown run. Then after that, FIU scores an 8-yard Chris Mitchell touchdown catch. Chris Mitchell also had a 20-yard reception on that same drive, which set it up. And with 10:48 left in the fourth, Jack State will score a Ron Wiggins 16-yard touchdown run, set up by a Zion Webb 30-yard run. FIU will have its first turnover on downs. 4th and 15, the pass is incomplete, which leads to a 3-yard Zion, Webb touchdown run. Then FIU will have another turnover on downs. 4th and 2, Antonio Patterson running short, which leads to a Jack State turnover on downs on 4th and 6. Logan Smothers 2-yard runners on 4th and 6. But then that would just lead to the end of the game. And like I said, man, Jack State just dominated from start to finish. Was all over FIU. FIU couldn't get nothing going early. They couldn't even get a first down at one point. Just this Jack State defensive line was playing in FIU's backfield from the start of the game. Keon Jenkins kind of, like I said, he got benched. From what I saw, though, it wasn't all on Keon Jenkins. Yeah, he missed a couple throws. Yeah, he got sacked a bunch in the first quarter. But, I mean, like I said, Jack State was in their backfield the whole time. And it kind of sped up the clock in his head. So, yeah, it made him a little inaccurate. Grayson James now did come in and lead 2 touchdown drives, but it was too little too late. Jack State already had his fingerprints all over this game. Great win for Jack State. Like I said, moves to 7-2 still. I believe in second place in the Conference USA. But unfortunately, it won't matter because of the NCAA rule about moving up. So, sucks for them on that front. But like I say, each of these games are like conference championship games to them. So next game we have UTEP 37, Sam Houston State 34. I told y'all, man, Sam Houston State is allergic to winning. Shout out my guy Teddy in the comments. But Sam Houston State is allergic to winning, man. I don't know what it is at home. We'll get into the game, and then I'll give you why they're allergic. So Sam Houston State gets the ball first. Starts with a punt. UTEP then also starts with the punt on this drive. Sam Houston State scores a 28-yard John Gentry touchdown run. UTEP would then respond with a 2-yard Deion Hankins touchdown run, and they converted a 4th and 1 on that drive. Sam Houston State would then answer with an 18-yard John Gentry touchdown catch. UTEP would answer with a 23-yard field goal set up by Deion Hankins' 29-yard run. Sam Houston State answers with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Malik Phillips, set up by a 30-yard Noah Smith catch. And then UTEP right before the half will answer with a 43-yard field goal set up by Emory White, 32-yard catch, and a 17-yard run by Emory White. UTEP will then start the second half, but goes 3-and-out and punts. Sam Houston State starts with a 22-yard field goal set up by Navonte Woodard, 22-yard catch. Sam Houston State will then also get a 31-yard field goal set up by a punt, I think it was unsportsmanlike conduct on a punt return, gave Sam Houston State great field position. Didn't really give too much offense going on that drive, but they were already in great field position for a field goal. UTEP answers with a Mike Franklin 3-yard touchdown run set up by a 28-yard Deion Hankins run. Then UTEP will score a 25-yard Kelly Akari, my guy, Kelly Akari touchdown catch set up by a 41-yard Kelly Akari touchdown. 41-yard Kelly Akari catch. Keegan Schumacher throws an interception for Sam Houston State, which leads to a 1-yard Kevin Hurley touchdown run. Now, the defender who caught the interception cut it back in. I thought he should have stayed outside, but even with him cutting it back in, almost caught a pick six, got down at the 1. Helmet crossed the goal line, but the helmet don't count. The ball counts. Got tackled down at the 1. Quarterback cleaned it up. Then, after Sam Houston State punt, Cade McConnell would then throw his interception of the game, which leads to a 4-yard Noah Smith touchdown run on the outside, like a little jet sweep, beat him to the corner, scored a touchdown to tie the ball game up. Both teams will trade punts. UTEP gets the ball last, and with 3 seconds left, score a 32-yard field goal to win the game, set up by Jeremiah Ballard, 37-yard catch. Kelly Akari, one of my keys to the game, 6 catches, 126 yards, and a tud. Got to get him the football if you want a chance to win. Deion Hankins, another key, 15 carries, 117 yards, and a tud. Them guys balled out for UTEP to lead the comeback. Now, for Sam Houston State, they went up 14. Offense was moving up and down the field. UTEP had no answers. Even in the second half, yeah, they started with a field goal, but they were still moving the ball up and down the field. The fourth quarter come, we got the interception. We got the stalls. We got UTEP being able to do what they want on offense. it's just like every time Sam Houston State finds a way to lose a game. And that's why I wouldn't pick them this week. I was not falling for it. I said, even when I was filming the content, in my head, I said UTEP's going to come back. I saw a live UTEP plus 14.5. I almost took that money line, but didn't want to. I just felt like I was just let it ride. I already still had UTEP money line in the game, so I was like, you know what? There's no point to double down. And UTEP, they got the W. They won the game, and Sam Houston State moves on to 0-9. I'm going to look up Sam Houston State remaining schedule real quick because I think it's looking real slim for Sam Houston State to find a victory. I think Sam Houston State still has to play, not Liberty. They play Liberty. Almost won that game, honestly. Then they started to play like Middle Tennessee State. I think, no, they already played Jack State. Let me see. Sam Houston State on their schedule still has, okay, Kennesaw State next week might be their first win. If not, they still play Louisiana Tech. Oh, Sam Houston State is 0-8, not 0-9. They still have to play Middle Tennessee State. That's the end of the year. They still have to play Western Kentucky, and they still have to play Louisiana Tech. Hard to find a W with those 4 games other than Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State, honestly, is do or die. But I think Kennesaw State is even FCS. So I don't think it's going to be hard for them to find an FBS W. It's real hard. I don't know. I don't know if I can give them an FBS W this year. Now, that's it for the recaps. I have to get into our weekend previews. And if you don't know how my previews work, if you're new here, I give 5 keys for each team on how to win, and then I pick my winner. After that, hey, look, let the games play out Saturday. So we're going to get into our preview. So I do have 3 games, and I honestly forced the 3rd game. Really didn't like too many games on the noon to 3 o'clock slot, but I got 3 games on the noon to 3:30 slot. Then I got 4 games from 3:30 to 7. I thought I had my little piece of paper. And then I got 4 games from 7 to late night or to the end. So 11 games total in this week's preview. Could have been 10. I also do have the Syracuse VTech game on my phone right now. Syracuse starting the game really badly. I did pick them to win. They're facing a 3rd and 28 on their first drive, penalty and a sack. Or I think it was 2 straight penalties. I think it was a penalty and a grounder, unless they called him a sack. Got him set up there. But let's get into these previews. First game on the docket. I have 6th ranked Oklahoma at Kansas. Now, Kansas, unfortunately, again, new thing I got here. If you look at the ticker, I got the betting odds for the favorite on the ticker. So I do have I had the teams and I got the favorite. So just thought that was a neat little addition to the show. So Oklahoma at Kansas, 6th ranked, Saturday, noon on Fox. For Oklahoma, they're 33rd in rush defense, which is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Going against Kansas with Devin Neal, Daniel Highshaw, and a running quarterback, going to have to hopefully come into play. Dylan Gabriel has to continue style of performance. Dylan Gabriel is having a monster year. I even see him kind of creeping up in the Heisman watch. So he has to continue that. Have to stop Devin Neal. Just said it. Like, man, this Kansas team can run the football. Devin Neal, Daniel Highshaw, these quarterbacks. Force a Jason Bean or Jalen Daniels turnover. I still don't know who's playing for Kansas at quarterback. It's been Jason Bean for like the past 3 weeks. I don't know if Jalen Daniels is back. So we'll find out Saturday. And they have to stop Lawrence Arnold and Quentin Skinner, the 2 guys on the outside. For Kansas, they have to stop the run. They allow 161.1 yards per game on the ground. Have to contain Dylan Gabriel. Easier said than done, but they have to. Kobe Bryant and Melo Dotson will be huge, the 2 corners for Kansas. As Virginia Tech takes a deep shot and it's incomplete. But they have to stop those 2 guys. Those 2 guys have to stop Nick Anderson, Jaleel Farouk, Andrew Anthony, all these guys, Drake Stoops, the guys that Oklahoma trots out at wide receiver. Establish Devin Neal, obviously. Have to establish a run to help the quarterback. And will Jalen Daniels be back? We don't know. We will find out. But with that being said, I'm taking Oklahoma on the road. Kansas has been struggling in Big 12 play. It is starting to look like Kansas last year. I was hoping it didn't, but it is starting to look like Kansas last year, unfortunately. And this is not a great spot to be in right now. Coming off a loss to Oklahoma State. I believe they are coming off of a bye week, however, so that could help Kansas. I don't remember Kansas playing last week. So let me look. Let me make sure. Yeah, they are not coming off of. Yeah, they're coming off a bye week. Yep. The last game they played was Oklahoma State, so they are coming off a bye week. Syracuse just misses a tackle in the backfield, leads to a Virginia Tech first down. But I'm still taking Oklahoma. Oklahoma is riding a high. They just came out of a close game, so their letdown game, they're past it already. I'm gonna take Oklahoma. I'm tempted to take the 9.5 with Oklahoma as well. Line seems a little bit short, so just FYI. Next game we got on the docket: Florida State at Wake Forest. Fourth ranked Florida State, by the way. They keep their fourth rank after beating Duke at home. Again, nothing changed in the top four. So for Florida State, don't be too high after the Duke win. Great win on the road, but Riley Leonard got hurt, and that would help Duke's defense slow down. So don't be too high on that, and you can't look ahead in this spot. Keon Coleman, get him involved. Yes, I understand they won while Keon only had 2 catches, but the 2 catches he had were timely, huge catches. Gotta have more of that, especially in situations where you need to play. Y'all know my motto: need to play dial full. Establish Trey Benson. He has 489 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. Have to stop Damon Claiborne, running back for Wake Forest, and Jordan Travis has to continue his stellar play. 15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Now for Wake Forest, have to win the turnover battle, which means you have to force some Jordan Travis turnovers or force some fumbles. Got to make plays. Have to stop the run. Like I said, Trey Benson, 49 yards and 6 touchdowns. So he's been killing it on the ground. Can't load the box. You load the box, Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson one-on-one, they're going to kill you. It's hard to game plan for Wake Forest defense because you want to run some double high safeties so you can have help with them 2 guys, but you still leave yourself susceptible to the run with Trey. And will Mitch Griffiths be back, or will it be Santonio Marucci, who got a win last week against Pitt, I believe, at the end of the game? So he can get you a dub, but you would love to go back to your veteran guy. I hate using that word in college, but I can't find another word for it. And Mitch Griffiths. And then establish Damon Claiborne because FSU allows 149.3 yards per game on the ground. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Florida State to win the game as Virginia Tech takes a 3-0 lead. But I'm going to go with Florida State in this game. Just a better team. I understand they're on the road, and this is what Kirk Herbstreit said is a sleep. It's a spot where you can catch Florida State sleeping. I don't all the way agree with that, but you never know. You never know. Now, the reason why I don't all the way agree with that because after this, what Florida State plays Pitt, which is not – so it's not like they're looking ahead to a greater opponent. It's kind of like even-level opponents. So it's not really a look-ahead spot in my situation, I feel like. But I don't know. I'm going to just go with Florida State, however. Next game on the docket. This is the game I kind of forced into this to make it 3. West Virginia at UCF. UCF favored by 7. Now, for West Virginia, Garrett Green has to continue to use his legs. Can Justin Johnson continue his stellar play from last week against Oklahoma State? He had a better game than C.J. Donaldson. He would have looked like the best running back in the game, but Ollie Gordon is just a monster. He's on a tear right now. Have to stop R.J. Harvey and Johnny Richardson. Those 2 guys, man. Dogs, thunder and lightning. Have to contain John Rice Plumlee because he will beat you with his arm and his legs if you allow him to. And you have to force multiple interceptions. John Rice Plumlee, as good as a runner he is, he will put the ball in some harmful situations. Got to get to him, force him to do that against you guys. Now, for UCF, get the ball to Javon Baker, your best receiver. I think last week they were talking about how they wanted to get him more involved, and he definitely got more involved. Establish the run. They average 232.4 yards per game on the ground. Enough said. John Rice Plumlee has to take care of the football. Again, he can get a little turnover prone. Can't allow it. Have to contain Garrett Green because, like I said, he can beat you with his arm and his legs. He can run the rock. So you got to be careful there. And you have to stop the run because while they get 232.4 yards per game on the ground, they average 196.1 yards allowed through the ground. So almost 200 yards allowed while getting 230 themselves. So you got to cut that. You got to cut that out. But with that being said, I think UCF breaks its losing streak. I think they get the W against West Virginia. West Virginia has been giving up a lot of points lately. It's uncharacteristic, but it has happened. they've been a little susceptible to the run as well, and teams are starting to figure out some things with this defense. I think Gus Malzahn will find something and exploit it against this West Virginia defense. So give me UCF to win at home. By the way, Florida State, Wake Forest, you can catch at noon Saturday on ABC, and West Virginia at UCF, you can catch Saturday noon on Fox Sports 1. Now let's go into the evening slot. We have, it's not on that side. We have Georgia, number 1 ranked Georgia at Florida for the world's largest cocktail party. Georgia is minus 14.5, as you can see here. This game is Saturday, 3:30 on CBS in Jacksonville, as it is always played in Jacksonville. So for Georgia, first game without Brock Bowers. Almost said that completely wrong. Brock Bowers, how would that look? What would be the game plan? Have to get to Graham Mertz. Now, Graham Mertz has been playing well, but I'll save it. But he's been playing well. I'll save what I have to say for when it gets to Graham Mertz. Have to stop Trevor Etienne and Montrell Johnson, the two running backs for Florida. If you stop them, it makes Graham Mertz have to beat you with his arm. Did it against South Carolina, but South Carolina ain't really a great passing defense. They're not really a great team this year at all. Will Ra Thomas and Dominic Levitt step up? Now that's coming with the Brock Bowers injury. Can they step up and make plays that Brock Bowers would have made? And will Carson Beck step up? Because yes, you lost your security blanket. You lost the best tight end in the country. That don't give you no excuse. You have to now step up and find other guys and have them make plays and put them in perfect situations. No, not perfect, but better situations. For Florida, will Graham Mertz continue good play against a good team? Now, against Kentucky, didn't look that great. Against Utah, did not look great. Against Tennessee, I said Kentucky already, right? Yeah, so those teams did not look great. Now, he looked great against South Carolina, but I wouldn't consider that a good team. He looked good against decent to bad teams. I need to see him do it against better competition, and what better competition than the Georgia Bulldogs. Can they establish the run? Georgia allows 91.4 yards per game on the ground. So they're going to be stout. They're going to get a stout run defense. Can they get it going? Get Ricky Pearsall the ball. I think the best receiver on the team. So I wouldn't say best weapon. Best weapon might go to Trevor Etienne. But the best receiver on the team, huge part of the Florida offense and huge part of the win against South Carolina. Have to force turnovers. I do think that they have to force turnovers. Win the turnover battle if they have a chance. Need to make multiple possessions in this game. And finally, they have to stop the run, because if they allow Edwards to get going on the ground, that allows Carson Beck's job to be easier. It doesn't make these receivers have to step up. So you got to stop the run and make these receivers and Carson Beck step up and make plays. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Georgia. I think Georgia just – again, I understand. I don't think Georgia's dominance has been what it's been the last 2 years, but I still think they're the better team in Florida. So I'm going to go with that. I'm not willing to bet on Graham Mertz versus a great team such as Georgia. So I'm going to take Georgia in the win in the world's largest cocktail party. Now we move on to BYU at Texas. 7th ranked Texas, Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. So for BYU, Keaton Slovis, no interceptions. Do not give this Texas offense any extra possessions, especially as I bring up later. Can they establish a run? They only average 79.3 yards per game, while Texas allows 98.3 yards per game. So running obviously isn't BYU's strong suit. They love to sling the rock around with Keaton Slovis, but they're going to have to establish some type of run. They just can't allow Texas defenders to pin their ears back and go after Keaton. Chase Roberts and Darius Lassiter have to get the ball. They do. They have to win their one-on-ones or beat whatever coverage that Texas throw at them. They have to get the football. Put pressure on Malik Murphy. Now, that's the key. Quinn Ewers is out. He's out. So Malik Murphy, not Arch Manning, gets to start. They got to put pressure on him. It's his first start. Put pressure on him. Let's see what he's made of. Can he make throws under pressure? Can he make reads under pressure? Will he fold? Let's find out. And you have to stop Jonathan Brooks, because Jonathan Brooks makes Malik Murphy's job so much easier. If Brooks will start ripping off 10-yard games, 5-yard games, 3-yard games, 4-yard games, 15 yards. You don't put pressure on Malik Murphy. Now he just got to just make throws, and they stay ahead of the chains and stuff like that. So got to stop Jonathan Brooks. Now for Texas, have to open up with short passes. No, excuse me. My bad. I skipped one. Has to run to open up the pass. Again, no Quinn Ewers. Get Malik Murphy some easy throws to get him in rhythm. Couple swing passes, not necessarily a screen, but like a couple hitches, maybe a quick slant. Get him in rhythm, get him into the game. Force turnovers. This defense has 7 interceptions. So let's force some interceptions. I think Keaton Slovis is prone to throw one. Have to hit huge momentum plays. So maybe a 40-yard run. Maybe a play action pass. A guy streaks down the field, Xavier Worthy, down the sideline wide open. Have to hit something like those. And you got to get to Keaton Slovis. This defense only has 17 sacks. Got to find ways to get to Slovis, whether it's through a blitz, whether it's just stunts, whether it's just somebody just beating a man flat out. Have to find a way to get to Keaton Slovis. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and rock with Texas in this one. I think Texas just overpowering of a school over BYU. I honestly look at BYU as more of a finesse team. Now, Texas ain't. No. I say Texas was for sure 1,000% grittier than BYU. So I'm going to take Texas in this game. Malik Murphy probably doesn't have the greatest game, but I think he has a good enough game for Texas. It doesn't hinder Texas in this one. Our next game, Oregon. 8th ranked Oregon at 13th ranked Utah. Saturday, 3:30 on Fox at Rice-Eccles Stadium. This probably will be the game when I get home from work that will be on the TV the most. So, Oregon, again, Bo Nix on the road is a question. Let's not make it a question. Let's show these people Bo Nix on the road is just as good as Bo Nix at home. Prepare for Bryson Barnes as the starter because Bryson Barnes had a really good game against SC last week. Now, again, it's SC. SC defense isn't necessarily the greatest, but you still can't discount it because this offense for Utah isn't the greatest either. Be prepared for a defensive struggle. Now, Utah defense is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Now, it gave up 32 to Caleb, but Caleb was also a Heisman winner overall, number 1 pick when he comes out. Oregon, while it does have a explosive offense, they like to run the rock. So Utah, I feel like, can defend that really well. They have to take out the home. Have to take out the home crowd because this home crowd will be rocking. This is a huge game. Pac-12 championship implications on the line. Huge game. And they have to establish Bucky Irvin. Have to establish a run game. Now, for Utah, can Bryson Barnes build on last week? Played phenomenal. Can he build on that? Will Sione Vaki play both sides and be effective again? Again, major performance, had 5 catches, almost $150 and 2 tuds, had like 9 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Can he play that well again if he gets those opportunities? Get to Bo Nix. Again, they have to make the questions. If you get to Bo Nix, make it seem like, it is road woes with Bo Nix. This defense also has 25 sacks and 7 interceptions. They have to stop Bucky Irvin. They only allow 78 yards per game rushing on the year. 78. And make this a low-scoring affair. I think if they can make this like a 24-21 game, 27-21, maybe, I feel like that's low-scoring for a Big 12 game, especially with Oregon in it. If Oregon has 21, that's low-scoring for Oregon standards. So if they make it a game like that, they could win. And with that being said, Utah getting 6.5 points. I think I'm taking Utah to win this game. Again, Utah is at home. Utah bolsters a really good defense. If Utah can get this offense together, even in the slightest, boy, this Utah team could be dangerous. Also, worth noting, Cam Rising is shut down for the rest of the year. I don't know if I reiterated that on Sunday, but I'll reiterate it again. Out for the year. So I think they can lean on Bryson Barnes as their starter for here on out. So I'm going to go with Utah in this game. I'm rocking with the better defense. And so that then leaves our last 3:30 game. We have Duke at Louisville. 20th ranked Duke at 18th ranked Louisville. Saturday, 3:30 on ESPN. Duke, will Riley Leonard be back? Questions that need answered because that Duke offense looks completely different with Riley than without him. Make a game plan as if Riley Leonard isn't going to be there. Again, that offense looked different. Now, I do think that's partially in fact because Riley Leonard was slated to start, and he just re-injured his ankle. So other quarterback. I think his name was Henry Bolden the fourth or something like that. I can't remember. He was just thrusted in a spot against a top 5 ranked team, and it's hard to perform in that situation as a backup. Stop the home run hitter, Jawar Jordan. Again, man. Now, Louisville, when they played NC State, Jawar Jordan didn't have any huge runs. And that allowed the game to be close. Now, when they played Notre Dame, Jawar Jordan had a couple runs that were huge, including a touchdown. And that game was not so close. The games where Jawar Jordan explode tend to be Louisville blowouts or Louisville wins. So, have to stop those. No explosive plays, period. That means Jamari Thrash. That means Jawar Jordan. I know it's hard, but you have to stop the explosive plays, especially if Riley Leonard's not going to be there, because then you can't match for real. You can't match them. And you have to establish Jordan Waters. Louisville allows 97.1 yards per game on the ground, which is tough for Duke to establish Jordan Waters, especially if the backup is playing. Now, for Louisville, Jawar Jordan, home run ball. I already explained it. Jack Plummer, no interceptions. This Duke defense is really good, really talented. If you keep them off the field, they stay fresh, they will force turnovers. Jamari Thrash has to burn the defense. That is your deep threat, in my opinion. He has to get a deep catch. Riley Leonard plays contain him. You have to contain him because he will use his legs and his arm to beat you. You have to contain him. And stifle Jordan Waters and Jaquarius Moore, the running backs, and make these quarterbacks beat you with their arm. Make them have to pass to beat you. And with that being said, I'm going to take Louisville at home against Duke. Louisville boasts a strong defense. Louisville, if Riley Leonard doesn't play, has the better quarterback. If Riley Leonard does play, Duke does have the better quarterback. But I think Louisville has the better pieces, more explosive pieces around them. So I'm going to take the Louisville. And I'm tempted to take the -4.5. But I'm even more tempted to maybe take the under. I don't know what that is. Y'all can look that up. But I'm kind of tempted to take that depending on what that is. Moving on to our late night games. We have 4 games on the late night. We have number 21 ranked Tennessee at Kentucky, Saturday, 7 o'clock on ESPN. For Tennessee, have to stop Ray Davis. Ray Davis is the heart and soul of this Kentucky offense. Keep Kentucky behind the chains, which makes Devin Leary have to beat you. And as I said before, I'm not a fan of Devin Leary. Devin Leary, as Virginia Tech just scores on a running back pass, trick play running back pass, wide receiver sprints down the sideline for a touchdown, 10-0 Virginia Tech in that game. Forced Devin Leary to throw a turnover. Devin Leary has not been looking good. I think he threw a pick against Mizzou. I think he threw a couple picks against Mizzou. He didn't look good against Florida. Ray Davis carried Kentucky against Florida. Got to force Devin Leary to interception. Joe Milton has to be great against this defense. Now, this Kentucky defense is really good. Kentucky normally boasts an elite defense. Joe Milton has to show up against this defense and establish a run because Kentucky only allows 95.7 yards per game on the ground. So they got to find a way to establish a run. Now, for Kentucky, Devin Leary has to get it in gear. He has to play better because if he doesn't, it's going to be kind of like Tennessee at Texas A&M, where Max Johnson, he played decent, but he didn't play great. And Tennessee won that game. If Max Johnson could have elevated his play just a little bit, they would have had a chance and probably would have beat Tennessee. Have to win the turnover battle. So that means you have to force some Joe Milton interceptions while Devin Leary kind of plays flawless, or at least no turnovers. Ray Davis has to be phenomenal. Again, the heart and soul of this team. He had 200-plus yards against Florida. He needs something like this against Tennessee for them to have a chance. Get to Joe Milton. If you get to Joe Milton, maybe make him be a little inaccurate. Maybe make him force some passes he don't want to make. Maybe force an interception. And you have to who will step up at receiver? Tavion Robinson or Dan Key? One of those two guys have to step up. But it all honestly depends on Devin Leary. And with that being said, I'm going to take Tennessee in this one. I'm tempted to take the -3.5 because I just have no faith in Devin Leary. I think Tennessee game plan will be to stifle Ray Davis and make Devin Leary beat me. And if I make Devin Leary beat me, I will win this game. So I'm taking Tennessee. Next, I got a little Sun Belt for y'all. Y'all know I got a couple little treats, a little in the mud, if you would say group of 5 treats. I got Troy at Texas State Saturday at 7 on ESPN+. I think the battle of 2 5-2 Sun Belt teams. with Troy, I believe, having one loss in the Sun Belt, that being to JMU. Let me double check that. Also, while I check that, and if I could, Georgia Southern is up 7-0 against Georgia State right now. I did pick Georgia State to win that, but it's a lot of time in both games. So I'm hoping for Syracuse and Georgia State to get it in gear. But Troy is. Why can't I find this Troy game? It's like right here. I'm not looking at all the 7 o'clocks. I don't see it. Here we go, right here. Troy at Texas State. Troy is 5-2. It says first in the Sun Belt. That's probably because the whole JMU thing about transferring up. They're not eligible to be in the Sun Belt Championship. And also because Troy is on the other side of JMU. Excuse me, I forgot that Sun Belt still divides. So in the West, we have 2-1 conference record Troy at 2-1 Texas State conference record. Both 5-2, both 2-1. So this game will determine first place in the Sun Belt West. So let's get into it. Troy, Kamani Vidal will be vital. Now, Kamani Vidal, through 7 games, has 951 rushes, yards with 6 touchdowns. Almost 1,000 yards in 7 games. That is ridiculous. Also, Texas State allows 161.6 yards per game on defense. Gunnar Watson, just take care of the ball. I don't want to say he has the game managed, but I'm going to say he just has the game managed. Now, I know Gunnar Watson has 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,766 yards in 7 games. But just get Kamani Vidal the ball. Force a TJ Finley interception, which he hasn't really done that much this year, only 3 picks on the year. But I think Troy defense is good enough to force one. Defense will win this game. Again, Troy defense is phenomenal. They've been phenomenal the past couple years. It's honestly, they're like an NFL team, in my opinion. They're going to run the ball and beat you with great defense. So defense will have to win this game. And I say win the field position battle. It's kind of what had them up, I believe, against JMU in the first half. And then JMU, JMU, I believe, won the field possession battle in the first half. And Troy was able to come back and almost win it due to winning the field possession battle in the second half. So it's kind of like Troy's thing. Now for Texas State. Have to find ways to score against Troy because, the Troy defense is phenomenal. I got the scores right here. Now, they gave up 30 to Stephen F. Austin, but after that, they did give up 42 to Kansas State as well. But then after that, gave up 16 to James Madison, 24 to Western Kentucky, 7 to Georgia State, 3 to Arkansas State, and 0 to Army. Last 3 games, giving up 10 points combined. If you want to make it the last 4, 34 points combined. That still averages out to only like 8-point-something points per game in the last 4 games. So it's going to be hard for them to score. TJ Finley will be huge. He has to get a pass game going. He has to establish something. He was able to get it going against Louisiana, but they fell short. Can they establish a run? Troy only gives up 97.6 yards per game on the ground. Can they find a run and keep Troy behind the chains? Again, like I said, for Troy, just keep giving the ball to Kamani Vidal. And then lastly, can Joey Hobart perform against this defense? Now, Joey Hobart has, I believe, 600 yards and a couple touchdowns for Texas State. But can he do that against this Troy defense? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm about to look at – he has 612 yards for 6 touchdowns. And let's look at a couple game logs he has here. He has game log right here. He has last game against ULM Monroe, 110 catches for 110 and 2 tuds. Against Louisiana, 8 catches for 132 yards and a tud. Against Southern Mississippi, 10 catches, 126 and a tud. Against Nevada, 9 catches, 90 yards and a tud. So he's on an amazing tear. Against against Baylor, which they beat, 6 catches, 105 and a tud. He's on an amazing tear as Virginia Tech is looking to take a punt return to the crib. No, he's tackled deep in Syracuse territory. So Syracuse is looking atrocious right now. But, yeah, man, I'm going to take Troy in this game. I think Troy is the better defense. I think they play phenomenal defense. They run the ball phenomenally. I'm going to take Troy in this game. I think Troy wins and takes over the Sun Belt West. We're moving on to Ohio State, minus 14.5 at Wisconsin, 7:30 on NBC Saturday. Now, Ohio State, get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. It's not rocket science. Just give him the ball and watch what he do. Force Wisconsin to score points. Wisconsin has not been able to do that, especially with Tanner Mordecai being out. Get to Braden Locke. Braden Locke, this is now his second start, third game. Get to him, make him have to beat you, make him make decisions under fire. So honestly, one of my keys for Ohio State is just play football. Don't make it complicated. Just play ball. You're the better team by far. They're starting their backup quarterback. Just play ball. And stop Braylon Allen, because this is going to be the best weapon they have. This is their best weapon with or without Tanner Mordecai. But now you can load the box. I would load the box and just stop Braylon Allen and say, Braden, you're going to have to make some passes. Now for Wisconsin, have to make this a low-scoring game, which your defense might get tired, so it's probably going to be hard. Establish Braylon Allen is going to open up so much for Braden Locke. If you can do that, have to somehow stop Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know if any team has the recipe to do that, but you got to try to find a way. No big plays, because if they hit on big plays and Wisconsin got to take 10, 12 play drives, it's not going to work out in their favor. And you got Braden Locke has to have the game of his life. This is already the game of this. This ain't probably. This is going to be the biggest game he's played in. He has to match that with his play on the field. But with that being said, I'm taking Ohio State. There's no way I take Wisconsin with a backup quarterback in this spot. No way. Give me Ohio State. And my last game, I got a Mountain West treat for y'all. Another group of 5 game. We got UNLV at Fresno State, Saturday, 10:30 on FS1. Probably, I think it's the last game of the night, to be honest. I'm gonna be up late night. I'm gonna be up to like 1 in the morning recapping games for y'all. But I got y'all. That's why y'all here. So with that being said, UNLV, get Ricky White the ball, the former Michigan State Spartan. Glad he's experiencing success somewhere else, because Michigan State ain't experiencing success. We ain't experiencing nothing but depression in college football. Prepare as if Mikey Keene is playing. I saw somewhere that Fresno State is still up in the air about Mikey Keene's decision on whether he's playing or not. So just prepare as if he's playing, because if you do, it'll put you in a better situation. Have to defend Eric Brooks and Jalen Moss, the two main guys for Fresno State through the air. Establish the run. They average 209.6 yards per game, while Florida State only allows 114.4 yards per game. So it's going to be a battle to see who gives up. And Jaden Mavia will need a big game, because if Fresno State is stopping the run, which UNLV is high on, it's going to leave a lot in Jada's hands. Now for Florida State, is Mikey Keene back? Is he back? It would be huge. But Logan Fife has played well. Establish Malik Sherrod to open up the pass, especially if Logan Fife is quarterback. Get to Jaden Mavea. Now, FSU, Fresno State, has 18 sacks and 10 interceptions. So get to him, maybe add on to that sack total, or maybe force another interception. Have to contain Vincent Davis Jr., the running back for UNLV. Huge part of this rushing attack for UNLV. And get Eric Brooks the ball, the best receiver. Get him the ball. And, he has 39 catches, 551 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the year. Get him the rock, and let's see what he can do with it. But with that being said, I'm going to take Fresno State. I was super high on Fresno State, still super high on Fresno State. I think they're the better team. I think UNLV, I think they're riding the high, but I think the high kind of ends with Fresno State. After this Fresno State game, they do play New Mexico, Wyoming, Air Force, and San Jose State. And honestly, UNLV's best win is Vanderbilt. But outside of that, I don't see too many great wins on this UNLV schedule. So it might be a little fluffed up at 6-1. So I'm going to take Fresno State here. I think Fresno State is the more battle-tested team. But with that being said, we have come to the end of CTC. Nice little schedule. I wouldn't say phenomenal schedule this weekend, but it's a nice little schedule. It'll hold you over for football Sundays and stuff like that. A couple little games. We still got some playoff implication games. So, enjoy Thursday night football tonight. I know it comes on like 5 minutes. I will enjoy it. But with that being said, I will catch y'all Sunday in the morning. Don't know what time yet, but I'm gone. Peace.
thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.